Dame, first question's from Christos Saltes with Sport DNA.
Hello, Damian. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
How important for you was to bounce back to be on winning road again? And what it means the way that you won tonight?
It was really important, for us to, obviously not drop another game because we lost the last one. But, given our situation with injuries and, things like that with our team, everything that we're dealing with, we got to take advantage of every opportunity that we get. We played another team tonight that was beat up on our home floor. We were supposed to be playing Monday in Charlotte, but, our schedule was rearranged and it kind of played into our favor. So, when things like that happen and, you're in a better position than you were in before, and then your opponent is banged up, you're on your home court, it's important to take advantage of those games and get them done. So tonight I was happy that we bounced back and took care of business.
Thank you.
Next question is coming from Dwight Janes with NBC Sports Northwest.
Hey, Dame, with your core problem and your hip problem and all that, how'd you get through it tonight? You feel okay?
I came into the game more concerned with my hip being sore. It's just a bruise, so it's not a major concern for me. It was just a hip-to-hip bump that just hit me in the wrong spot, and it was just really bruised. So, it was just sore when I walked and stuff like that. But once I warmed up pregame and, I got a little bit more warm and I was more active, I was like, it's going to be sore, but eventually adrenaline is going to be able to, trump that, so I'll be fine. And then in the third quarter, about, halfway through, maybe a little bit more, less than halfway through, my abdominal area just started to tighten up, which is normal, as it's working its way out. It tightened up, and from that point on, it was just mental. I've dealt with it before, and it's not something that's going to stop me from being able to play. If it gets that bad, or I feel like I need to sit to give it some time, then I'll do that like I did versus Philly, and just handle it day to day.
Does it get better during the season, or are you kind of just stuck with it the rest of the way now?
No, typically in the past, probably the last 3 or 4 years, it always happens during training camp because I go from, just training and working out by myself. I don't play pickup in the summer. So once I start playing pickup and, practicing twice a day and things like that, that's usually when it'll like get upset and lock up and start to tighten up. And I have to limit myself through training camp sometimes, or, that's why in the preseason, sometimes I'll play, 1 or 2 games where I play limited, and then 1 full game, and every other game is probably, just sitting out because I'm usually kind of like nursing that. But as the season goes on, and my body gets used to the up and down and, game after game after game, it just slowly works its way out. And I'm just back to normal. But this time in the off season, I really trained it. I worked with a PT the whole time. So during training camp, it never became an issue. And I think now it was just pushed out a little bit further. So we're now 20 plus games in, and it's kicking in. But based off of how it's worked in the past, I think, it'll be around for a little bit, and eventually I'll keep getting treatment, keep training on it, working on it, and eventually I'll be fine.
Next question is coming from Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Hey, Dame, the times when Melo kind of struggles or is going through a tough stretch, how do you see him deal with that?
I mean, he expects a lot of himself. He's a Hall of Fame level player. We believe in him. He believes in himself. So when he's struggling, he just expects better from himself. And, he gets upset with himself sometimes. And I think he's been here before. He's done that. He's had the rough stretches. He's had the struggles over his long career. And I think he just works through it. You see him get on his basket. He shoot his fadeaways. He shoot his pull-up jumpers. And he go get in the cold tub or whatever. And he just kind of keep going through his routine. And, obviously he'll get upset about it, but he doesn't let him. It doesn't disrupt his movement. He continues to move forward. And he's been around long enough to know that eventually, that work is going to come into play. And things will get back into gear for him. And it has.
And then also, has he shared with you at all anything special as he's passing these legends? You know, tonight he passed Oscar Robinson. Has he let you in on knowing that any of these guys are special to kind of leapfrog?
I mean, I think he's similar to me. I think in how he's handled that, because I think he's just in a moment. You know, he's not. You know, we've been laughing about it in the locker room because every other game, you know, coach is like, all right, you know, we got another game ball for Melo, and it's like, we might as well just wait to the end of the season and just put every person he passed on the year on one ball. But we just giving him like ball after ball after ball, and he passing them dudes left and right. But I think he's just in a moment. You know, I think at some point he'll look at it and realize, you know, the great things he's done and how much of an honor and a pleasure it is to be passing up these legends in our game. But I mentioned it to him, like, you know, you just passed up Big O. You just passed up this person. You just passed up, you know, I kind of like throw it out there to him, and he just kind of smile and laugh it off. Like, he knows, but he's not resting in it. You know, he knows he got more time to play. He's got more people to pass, you know, and that's that, you know, and I feel like that's the correct way to handle it.
Yeah.
Next question is coming from Casey Holdall with Trailblazers.com.
Damian, you've always been starting alongside him for quite a few games now. How would you what kind of a job do you think Gary has done in the starting lineup? What's he bringing to you guys? What has he kind of provided with CJ being out?
I think he's done a great job. You know, I'm really happy and proud of GT because, you know, he's come so far, you know, from when he first got here. He's come such a long way, and he just continues to improve. You know, he's becoming a better playmaker. He takes the challenge on defense. He's aggressive. And I think he just brings that dog spirit, you know, to that starting lineup. Not that we just didn't have it before, but he's very forward with that, you know, just aggressive on offense, aggressive on defense, high energy, high intensity type of player. And that's him bringing a different angle for us to start games. You know, sometimes we start slow, sometimes, you know, we making shots, but for him, it's balls to the wall, all out. And, you know, I think that's something great that he's brought to that first group.
Thanks, Tim.
Next question is coming from Sean Hyken with Bleacher Report.
Dame, a couple things for you, a little bit off topic. First of all, where do you come down on the whole debate about whether the league should have an all-star game?
I mean, you know, I think a lot of guys are saying, you know, why are we even having a game? And I understand that. You know, for me, if they said we're not going to have a game, I would be perfectly fine with it. You know, I just had two newborns, and I would love to spend that extra time at home with my family. You know, my fiance went through a lot delivering two kids, and, you know, I'm sure she would love to have that extra time with me at home, and the same with Dame Jr. And, you know, the rest of my family here that, you know, I haven't even been able to see because we've been, you know, under these strict protocols. But if they say we're going to do it, you know, I understand that this is our job, and I understand that, you know, the kind of money that we make, you know, you gotta make sacrifices, and certain things just have to be done, you know. And obviously for that event, you know, TNT or whoever, they're gonna want the show to go on, and it has there's repercussions for us, you know, not doing that, or, you know, it could be something negative for us if we don't go on with that. So I'm all for it. You know, if that's what we're gonna do, then I'm with it. But if we're not, I'm perfectly fine with that too.
And then sort of along the same lines, over the last few years since they've started letting players vote on the all-star teams, how do you kind of go about that? Do you vote for yourself? Do you vote for your friends or your teammates? Do you try to sit down and think which guys in the league are the most deserving? Like, how do you kind of go about that?
I mean, I vote honestly. You know, I don't make it like a personal thing or nothing like that. You know, I look at the names that I see, and I vote for the players that I feel like are performing at that level and deserve it. And I watch a lot of games, so I think I got a pretty good lens on it, you know, and that's that. So I mean, I think that's how everybody should do it, so it can be as accurate and as fair as possible.
All right, we'll wrap it there. Thank you, Dame.